come with me if you want to live. Well, they're finally being sent out. I hope you guys all don't mind Wonder Woman stamps because that's all I have. Not only that, because she's my favorite DC character. So anyway, get on with this video.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, anyway, they're signed, sealed, and going to be sent tomorrow. For those who are getting these, check your mailboxes pretty soon, because you're going to get some good stuff. All I have to do is just one more. But until then, as of a few days ago, I went to see the Lego Batman movie. Here's my initial review for that movie. Someone was telling me, is it better than the 2014's The Lego Movie? Now, when I was seeing the trailers, when I was seeing the trailers for it, I was waiting until Double Toasted was going to do this movie, watch the trailer and see what they would say. And then I see my friend Clackman doing his review on it when he's seen it as the screener, and I would have to say that I would have to go with my friend Clackman because he says it pretty well. So the Batman Lego movie, from beginning to end, it was perfect. Especially the beginning sequence. That was just spot on right there. That was just spot on. What was funny about it is that that the plane that was going over Gotham City. I'm not gonna say anymore, but it was just funny that they mentioned the contents on the airplane. You know, they blah 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 blah. Okay, I think it's safe enough to fly over the city with the stuff in the back. Sure, go ahead. And I still think that's just too funny. Now, forward or rewind a little bit further, is that I went to see, back then I went to see the movie Get Out. Those who hasn't seen Get Out, you need to get out and go see it. No pun intended, but get out and go see it. It is the one most best movie ever, and is doing good on Rotten Tomatoes. 99%, as I last checked. As when it came out, it was 100%, but then it came down to 99%. It is one of the greatest movies of all time. Last weekend, I was at a bingo, not a tournament, but just, out playing bingo with a couple of friends of mine. One person that I know pretty well, we were actually talking about movies, and my friend's daughter and son are moviegoers, so they were talking about the movie Get Out. And one of my friends and I were talking about it too, and I was telling them that they should go and see it. no matter if they don't like horror at all. To me, this is a horror movie, but it doesn't seem like a horror movie when you go and see it. It has the elements of horror, but no one dies in it. That's the good thing. Well, maybe just one guy, maybe. I might even be suing if anyone dies, but so be it. I don't know if anyone dies. Maybe you just need to find out and go see it. So yeah, I was going to see that. Then a couple of weeks later, after that, I went to see Cure for Wellness. Cure for Wellness is one of those thinking sort of movies because it has a whole lot of suspense. It has a whole lot of thinking. You need to think when you see this movie. It is so well done. It is so good. I loved it. I know that a couple of people didn't really care for it, but I took it with a grain of salt and just went and seen it. Now, if you've seen Shutter Island, you'll probably figure that it's going to be exactly the same. In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't, but because in Shutter Island he was already there. In Cure for Wellness, he was going to go somewhere. And so, but in a way, it has the same sort of story in a way, but not really. But don't get me wrong, Shutter Island is a good movie. It was a little bit trippy when I went to see it. I should have seen it with a friend of mine who I went to see Cure for Wellness because it would have been a lot better. Because, going to a movie, with a friend is a lot better than going to seeing a movie alone. But at the time I didn't really know. So anyway, Cure for Wellness, I would have to say I would give it a 8 out of 10. As 5 out of 5, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. It does have that suspense feeling throughout the whole movie, but there are some parts that I didn't care for. But then again, like I said, I'll just take a grain of salt and just go with punches. As for Get Out, I'd give that a 10 out of 10. And out of 5 out of 5, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 5. I know that's going a little bit high for those two movies, but I want to see Get Out again before it goes out of theater. Oh yeah, and also another movie that I went to see by myself was on opening day was John Wick 2, John Wick Chapter 2. I didn't get to see the first one, but when a couple days or a day before or 2 days before that I seen John Wick Chapter 2, I went and bought the Blu-ray for John Wick. And I really loved John Wick's attitude in both the first and the second. The second was awesome. From start to finish, it is just way awesome. Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves, they did wonderfully in this movie. I really like John Wick's style. he just goes in and does what he does, and when he gets back home, he just forgets what's happening and just goes on his rest of his day. And in the second one, he was being forced back into something that he wanted to retire from. But in a sense, I knew that he was going to go back into being an assassin and all this stuff, and it was just too good. It was just great. I mean, the beginning of the movie just, wow, that is just perfect. That was just perfect. And I just want, if I ever did drive, I want to get the car that John Wick was driving. I knew that he was those type that deals with muscle cars. So, I mean, my dad liked anything that was speed, anything that had speed, race cars, airplanes, hot rods, the whole 9 yards, everything. So pretty soon I'm going to go see Fate of the Furious, Fast and the Furious 8. And I'm going to go see Ghost in the Shell, the live action one. And I know that everyone is not going to like it. I know it's not going to do well in the theaters, but I'm going to go see it still because, like I was telling you on my live stream on Facebook, that everyone needs to go out and see this movie. Need to go out and buy it. Because that movie itself was it's good. After watching Chris Stuckman's review for Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, it just made me want to go out and buy that movie too. I seen it years ago when it was released on VHS. And when it was released, it wasn't released in dubbed, but it was released in subtitled Japanese audio with English subtitles, which everyone didn't really like as much because they didn't have a dubbed version. But when Bandai was going under, they released the last edition that actually had the dub and the sub. But as of recently, I looked it up that it just released on Blu-ray. It seems that Chris Stuckman saying that it was rare. It just came, as I was watching this video, it just came out. I don't know. Weeks before he even did that video, but saying it was rare. Probably he got the Bandai version that was the rarest one, but apparently what I've seen, it is from Funimation, so they brought it back. So I suppose he has the rare copy of Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, so I suppose. So I'm going to go out and buy that pretty soon, but I don't know when. But other than that, I hope you all take care and catch you in the next video.